Hey, super cool science kids. It's me, your super cool science teacher. So, I am going to teach you about the eye. See what I did there? Anyways, here we go. The eye and how we see. So this is my diagram of the eye. Okay, and the first part of the eye that you need to know about is the cornea, and that would be the outer part of the eye. So like if you stuck your finger in your eye, you would touch your cornea first. Now I don't suggest doing that because it really hurts. Your cornea is super sensitive, and it's super sensitive for a reason. It has to be sensitive so that if something were to touch your eye, whether it was a speck of dust or whether it was a finger or whatever, it would cause a lot of pain and go, because your eye is one of the most sensitive organs in your body. So your cornea, which is this guy, it has two purposes, okay? One purpose is protection. And the other purpose is actually to bend the light. Because it's curved and it's see-through, so naturally whenever light goes through a different medium, especially if it's curved, it will bend the light. The next part is this right here. This is actually the hole. This is a hole in the middle of your eye. That hole in the middle of your eye looks like a black dot, so you may have guessed it. This is the pupil. It's a hole. So what's the whole point of a hole in the middle of your eye? Well, the light has to come in somehow. So this is like the window of the eye. It lets the light in, okay? Light in, okay? All right, the next part of the eye would be this part right here that surrounds the pupil. And normally that has a color to it. So it's either gonna be brown or blue or green or grayish, okay? And this colorful part of your eye is called the iris. Iris, okay? What color is your iris? Okay, anyways. So the iris's job is to control how much light comes in. Okay? So, which makes total sense, because if you think about it, because they're like, well, why would it need to control how much light comes in? So I don't know about you, but when I was a kid and my mom really wanted me to get out of bed, she would just walk in, completely dark room, and just flip on all the lights, and I'd be like, my eyes, I can't see, and it would like burn. And then eventually like your eyes would adjust or get used to it. So getting used to it or adjusting, that's actually your iris changing the size of the pupil. So that hole, like sometimes if you look at someone's eye, the black dot in the middle, or the pupil, is like really, really big. And when it's really, really big, that means that lots of light is getting in there. And if it's like really, really small, that means that it's really bright outside and you don't need as much light. So your iris is shrinking down that pupil so that not as much gets inside your eyeball, because too much light can be kind of painful. Not enough light and you're not able to actually see. So it kind of gives your eye some balance. All right, so that's the iris. Now, once the light actually goes into the iris, you hit this disc-looking thing. This disc is called the lens. Okay, so the lens of your eye, which, when you think about it, if you have contact lenses or if you have corrective lenses, which are also called glasses. All right, the reason it is a corrective lens is because your lens has trouble focusing or doing its job, so it needs a little help. So then what's the lens of your eye's job? Well, it is to focus the light. Okay, it focuses that light and projects the light onto the back of the eye, which leads me to, okay, so the back of the eye, this part right here, dot, 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 dot. All of those, that whole section is called the retina. The retina. No, I'm just kidding. The retina. The retina, so the light is projected onto the back of the eye like this. Okay, light is projected onto the back of the eye, onto the retina. So the retina actually has two things in it. They're called rods and cones. Okay, the rods and cones actually help us to see shadow, okay, and color. So if you're colorblind, or you know somebody that's colorblind, that means that some of their cones in their retina of their eye is not working right, or maybe they're missing altogether. So you've got the rods and cones, which help you to see shadows and colors. The retina's also job, the very most important job that it does, is those cells that are in the retina help to make an electrical signal. Okay, so I know that sounds weird, an electrical signal, an electricity in your eye. Well, actually, our whole body is run off of electrical signals. So anytime you twitch or you think of something, there's nerves, or you feel something, there's nerves in your body that are shooting off those electrical signals, and they all go straight to your brain. Everything goes to your brain. Your brain is like the hard drive of a computer. This tells this what to do, right? So all those nerves and those electrical signals, all right, is what's telling your brain what's going on and what's happening and what they feel. So the retina makes these signals right here and then shoots up through this guy, and it happens so fast. That is called the optic nerve. Okay, so the optic nerve is kind of like the postman, all right? And maybe this is you at home writing a letter. So you make the letter here at home, and then whenever you're ready to mail it, you shoot it off in the mail, and it goes to the person that it needs to go to. So again, the optic nerve, its job is to send the signals. Not make, just send. And then the brain receives the signal and makes sense of it all. So, in my next video, I will recap exactly how you see it, but those are all the parts. So again, you start with the cornea, which is on the outside. You have the pupil, which is the hole. You have the iris, which is that colorful part of your eye and controls how big that pupil is, so how much light's coming in. You have the lens, which focuses that image. You have the retina, which creates that signal of whatever it is that you're seeing. And then the optic nerve, which helps to shoot that signal to the brain. And the brain, you know, it just makes sense of it all.